stream. There we go. It's a lot of fun. And I guess I should take off my mask and get kind of fixed up here so I can meet a movie star, a designer movie star. So we are getting ready to sign it. I can't see what this says over here. Yes, we're getting people. Melinda, hey, Debbie Pickens, Cindy. I'm so happy to see everybody here. It is right at 2 o'clock. And let's start off by saying I am Tisha Copeland at Not Your Mama's Quilt Store, and I am thanking everybody for joining us today. We are going to meet the fabulous Jamie Fingal. She is a designer for RJR Fabrics, one of our favorite fabric lines, and she designed the Hopscotch line. And if you're not familiar with it, it is one of the best blender lines, that we have in the store. As a matter of fact, we have somebody right now. Look, everybody wave. Look, we've got her stuff right here on the table that we're looking at.
Can you see it?
Yes, we see it. It's gorgeous. It is absolutely one of the most favorite lines for us to work with here at the store, and it's so bright and fun and vibrant. So we are so excited to have her with us. And if everybody will give her a big applause with a thumbs up on your screen. Also, share the screen so that other people can come and watch with you. You can create a watch party and share the screen so other people can see it. And let me go ahead and grab her now. I have to let her in the door. Hey. How are you?
I am good. It's a hot day.
Good.
Got a fan.
I got to turn my volume a little bit louder, but hold on, I dropped my glasses. So there. Look at all that funness behind you. It is fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
So,
for having me.
oh, Jamie, we're thrilled to death to have you with us today. And I was telling everybody that your line, Hopscotch, is absolutely one of the favorites we have in the store. We gravitate toward it for everything, it seems like. And what I just love about it is the colors that are there and how they go from dark to light. Just love it.
Great. I'm so happy to hear that. I love
it. So how did you even think of coming up with a line like this, or what made you do this? What made you come up with it?
I wasn't the thinker. It was the art department at RJR. They had talked about doing a blender line, and they were just bringing me on. And they said, we love all your drawings. I keep a sketchbook. It's real small, like this small. So they went through all my sketchbooks to find all my little doodles. And they said, we're going to have you do a blender line. And I was like, what the heck is a blender line? I mean, I don't know. I'm coming from another world here. So they said, oh, it's a blender line. So it has all the colors of the rainbow and 11 different designs. You can turn in as many as you want, and we'll just pick what we want. And we'll do all the colors, and you'll be with us every step of the way in planning and making sure that the color is right for your color palette. And I was like, okay, let's go. I mean, I love to draw, so like this is how I turn in my artwork, like this.
Oh wow, that is so cool.
Yeah. So this is the triangles, the Triangle Symphony. But
yes.
2 squares in it because I didn't use a pencil. I just.
Oh.
So there's actually 2 squares in it if anyone can find them.
Very cool. I'll have to look for them now.
Yeah.
I like when you have to look for fun little things.
Yeah.
So that is so cool. Had you designed other lines for RJR before?
This was my very first line. I designed 4 lines for Hoffman Fabrics.
Okay.
I start, and then I moved over to RJR.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just so happy with everything, how it all turned out, and working with them has been pretty great. And onward and upward.
So you said you're an artist by trade, by talent,
Graphic
and
artist,
yes,
self-taught. I just love to draw, and I think that drawing every day just helps a person so much. I mean, I draw every single day. I keep a journal, in a virtual journal. You can see me on Instagram. I post them every day, not necessarily on Facebook, but so in drawing, I'm getting into the, if you draw every day with not using a pencil, it really hones in your skills. But as far as like hopscotch was like tiny little drawings that were tedious to draw, but came out so great.
they did.
Uh, this was hard to draw. Overlapping squares.
Oh, I bet.
That's a little tough. But I'm just so happy how it turned out. And then to be able to do an addition to this line, that the first line had 84 colors and 11 different, and I do, you know, everything by hand. I don't use a computer. The RJR does all the repeats because I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have them do that part.
Right.
All the funding. So then we wanted to come out with some additions. Hopscotch 2, TOO.
Yes.
That was really fun to create some really fun things with. I did a lot of overlays with vellum, and it was just kind of fun. And I got to put in some colors that they let me pick the colors, and that was really fun. And another part of designing fabric is coming up with the name of the design, and then the colors. They gave me like, said, okay, so come up with the colors. You need 84 colors for this. I'm like, how do you do that? And I can't use their colors that they already had. So I'm going online. I'm like, how many different ways can you say aqua? Or
right.
So a lot of, like, after food, coffee, and like like Panther Town Red. I like that one. But like if this were fabric, I could wear this like as a.
Oh yeah.
I can wear this. I mean, it's incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I learned a lot doing this line. I had no idea what a charm pack was. What do you do with this?
You create goodness.
Like, oh my gosh, this is like small. What do you do with this? And then I physics dyes, and I was noticing on some of the dyes it said charm pack friendly. I'm like, what is that? Now I know what it means, because you could use this with a physics dye.
Yes.
Fits perfectly.
So you weren't a quilter to start off. Have you learned to start quilting, or have you started sewing? Or
no, I actually learned how to sew from my grandmother. She taught me at a very early age. I made a lot of Barbie clothes and doll clothes. There's Barbie. Where is she? She's over here. And I'm great. How are you? I love Barbies for some odd reason. Anyway, I've always been. I love to draw. That's really been my main thing.
Mm-hmm.
But sewing, I love sewing. My grandmother taught me how to sew. I made my first quilt in 1981, a traditional quilt. I still have it. And what I had done is I embroidered, I think they were like 6-inch squares. Favorite memories of people and things that I love, like all my favorite things. And then I did a 9-patch. And so it's a big giant bed quilt. And I have made bed quilts over the years, but I really like wall quilts. It's just so much easier. And
you have
I kind of switched from doing that traditional quilting in like 2001 to making just purely wall quilts. And all my quilts are fused with Misty Fuse.
Mm-hmm.
And, so there's no needle turn applique. I don't use batting. I know I'm such a rebel. I don't do binding. I don't need to do binding because I'm using woven felt as the middle layer, and there's spraying. It's the greatest thing. It's so freeing.
Yes. It's fun to buck the system, isn't it?
It really is. And people are like, you what? You don't use batting? I'm like, I'm never using batting ever again. No.
No, a lot of times we're down here in Texas and batting is very warm. And I have made quilts that I just put the front and back together and I'm done. Just
Oh,
quilted and I'm done.
yeah. I wouldn't even dream of using anything like that today. It's hot in here today. But I don't,
Yeah.
studio is not in my house. I'm
Uh-huh.
in an industrial park, so I don't have any heating or air conditioning. But it's my home away from home. I love coming here.
That's fun. That's fun. I think all of us wish we could have a studio or a place where we could go and hide from everybody else and work
Yeah.
undisturbed.
Yeah, and she's like 5 minutes from me in her studio, and we trade off going to each other's studios and working and eating lunch together. Of course, we're not doing that now, but
And who is that?
Libby Williamson,
Yes. Okay.
she lives in the same area that I live in, but we get together once a week for a social distancing lunch
Yes.
in our car. That's how we are.
Yes. Yes. That's we see a lot of that right now. So I know you have your own website also. Tell people about that.
Okay, so I have it's kind of a website blog.
Hmm.
Designs.net, or you can go through Jamie Fingal Designs blogspot. I've been blogging for since 2005, long time.
You jumped on it when it was new.
Yes, when Google Blogger came out, I was like, okay, let's see if I need to have a
Let's
website.
try this.
See if I make enough that would justify me having a website.
Hmm.
And yes, I got that answer, and I did a website for a long time, and then in order to simplify my life, basically, now I just have a blog, and it's, I update it like every week. I think I'm a week late right now, but I'm, I just want to share what I do, and I have a really nice following of people that still comment and send me things, emails, and so I know I'm going in the right direction. I haven't done much quilting during the pandemic. Done some small pieces, but mainly I'm just drawing in my sketchbook. It's a visual journal of what I do every day.
Right. Right. And it's you said you never draw in pencil. You're always drawing in pen.
I am. All my journals are all done in pen.
That's awesome. It's I think it's a little bit freeing because you start to realize your lines don't have to be perfect.
Oh, yeah,
And
definitely. My whole life is all about imperfection. Imperfection is a good thing. It's very freeing. I don't have to compare myself to anyone else. I can just do what I want to do in my own style, my own way. And I'm actually much more happy and fulfilled to be able to do that. I love it when someone comes to me, even like a fabric company, and says, we would like you to make some imperfect, like your imperfect work. We want that. And I was like,
right.
I like that. Someone realized that my work is not perfect.
You're talking to me?
Yeah, you're talking. Are you really want that? What do you
I
refer?
know. No, I love that. I think one of the things that we emphasize here at our store is it doesn't have to be perfect because it's your own creation.
That's right.
And most of the time people do not notice the imperfections in it.
Oh,
They
that's
don't know if you sewed the seam in the wrong spot unless they go and compare it to the original pattern. But if you have friends that are doing that, girl, I think you just need some new friends. If you're going to start comparing it to the pattern, but
yeah. I'm definitely an
yeah,
imperfect. I think actually it makes it much more unique.
it does, and it's fun. It's a great pressure off your shoulders when you're like, okay, so that didn't come out exactly where that line was supposed to be, but you know what?
Right.
It looks good. I'll just match it on the other side now. It's fine.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I took a class from Freddie Moran, like, I don't know, eons ago. It was making
Wow.
houses and all pieced. And I remember her in the class. She goes, "That's not a mistake. This is who you are." And You need
That's
to
right.
own it and go on. And if you don't like it, that's what a steam iron is invented for. You can steam it out or leave it. So
Right.
she made such she was such an influencer on my early work.
Right. Yeah. That would be so cool to be able to take a class with her.
I mean, I don't use white. I don't use. I only use black and red.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of white. Anytime I have to lean that way, I start trying to find another color to replace it. It I understand a lot of patterns are done with it, but I'm like, but what if we do it with this in the background? And
Yeah,
so yeah.
Like what a low volume print. I never knew what that was too.
Mm-hmm.
Volume print is always fun. Like in Hopscotch, we don't have a pure white and we don't have a pure black, but we have something close.
Right, right. So have you found that when you designed the fabric, it influenced your pen and ink drawings? Or is it really more vice versa? The pen and ink always influences your fabric.
Pen and ink actually influences line because I brought all my sketchbooks. They came to my studio and picked out everything I wanted. So that just took a lot of pressure off of me. And then when they wanted more, then I had to come up with. I think I was on vacation somewhere, and they said we need 2 more drawings, and I was like, what?
Okay.
And so I drew them out when I was on vacation, and it's such an interesting thing designing fabric, but this is a line that is just so near and dear to my heart that I got to use all of my fun little doodles in the fabric, whereas in other lines I've done just collage or something, but this has been really fun. And another line that I did for RJR last year called Heavy on the Metal, which is my her ego side, the heavy metals stuff.
Yes.
Everything is red and black and silver, because I like a lot of metal. And created this line in an opposite way of doing Hopscotch. Heavy on the Metal was more about what I'm going to make with this fabric and how is that fabric going to look when it gets made into something. That's like the opposite way. I mean, they must have thought I was nuts at RJR, but it's such a fun line. It's got metal in it.
Yeah, and it is a fun line.
And it has zippers. That's one thing I've been known for, is I use a lot of zippers in my work. First, to be able to make larger quilts, I could zip them all together and zip them apart to make a larger quilt.
That's cool.
So that became my claim to fame for quite a while. So doing this line, Heavy on the Metal, which I'm sure is not everyone's cup of tea, but this is also like a big part of me, who I am as an artist.
Yes. I think it's a fun line.
Oh, thanks.
I've seen it. I think it's a fun line. And it's fun to go with one color. And when you use it in a quilt, in my opinion, when you use it in a quilt, say I want a red, and then you look at it closer once it's already used in the quilt and you go, oh my gosh, that has this, that has that. I always think that's a lot of fun. And I do like to mix up my prints also. I might have roses, beautiful roses right next to a bike chain. And it's just fun to mix it up like that. That's how I like to design.
Yeah, it's in fact in Hopscotch, I'm looking for the roses. I don't know if I brought that artwork with me, but the roses in Hopscotch. Oh, actually, it's in this charm pack. These are roses. Actually, this is for my grandmother, who taught me how to sew. She loved pink roses. So this is a memory of her, like a tribute to her with the pink roses. The roses come in a bunch of different colors, but this is really her pink. So that's special too. I like the stories behind creating a fabric line. I think it just brings it all to life.
I love the stories behind fabric lines. Love to hear about them.
Yeah.
Love to hear about them. So where do you get your influence from?
I actually think now that I've been home for how many months now, I really think my influence comes from my garden.
Oh.
Because I look at the colors in my garden, it's the colors that I use in my work, especially in Hopscotch. All the bright colors. I have, like, I'm looking the opposite way. I have all these bright colors in my garden. And I also think, you know, the colors, the textures, some of the things that I like, my doodles just come out of my imagination. Some weird thing there.
No, it sounds normal to me. It doesn't sound weird.
But, you know, as far as inspiration, I think my biggest thing that I did, if I needed more inspiration, like, what are the colors that, you know, are out now? What would I do for my next line? I actually go to antique stores. I go shopping in antique stores and just go through every aisle. I live in Orange, California. We have a whole downtown of antique stores. And I just love walking through them. It gives me so much inspiration. It may not come apart, you know, across in like fabric design, but it will come across my work somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're not designing fabric, what other art are you designing?
I'm working on a few different quilts, doing some watercolors and painting. I think right now during the pandemic, my life is, I look on my Instagram feed, gardening, blooming in my garden.
Yes.
Cooking. I make sourdough bread, which I have done for over a year. Just amp that up a little bit, and then, you know, trying new things, cooking. It's actually such a challenge to just be home and deal with that.
Isn't it?
You know, but at least I have a place to go every day. I mean, Monday through Friday, I can go to my studio. My husband is working from home. So this is a perfect place for me to go because I don't work with anyone.
Right.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you sell your artwork?
I have not.
Sometimes. No.
Project right now that will be on my website soon of paintings that I did while I was recovering from hip surgery, and then I had them printed on a panel, like a half panel. It's a digital panel. And
yes.
Kits out of it and sell them.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool.
Goes with it perfectly because I actually everything that I drew and painted all goes with it.
Yes. Yeah.
Even the new colors. So fat quarters will be part of this project.
That is so cool. So I wanted to also let my customers know that if you all have any questions, you can type them in because I can read some on the sign. I don't know if you can, Jamie, see the people commenting.
I mean,
but
I'm like, oh, okay.
But if you all have any questions for Jamie, just type them up and I will ask them for you because it's always a great treat to have a designer on with us and visit with us and stuff. So how is the weather out there in Orange, California?
Today, right now, it's 89 degrees.
Nice.
So fun.
Yeah. That's where we are right now.
It's a little hot, but
yes.
Yesterday was a really nice day, but I think we're just getting some hot weather. It's been really humid too, which is really unusual for our area.
Yeah, we stay humid here. It feels like we're always dying with heat. It's always hot. I know. You know, the bright colors are what adds a lot of fun to a dreary day. And so I gravitate towards those all the time when it's kind of that grayish day, which we get them here like anybody else. But I always like the bright colors and like that quilt behind you and the little paintings over to the side of you. Oh my gosh, those are so much fun. And I see a doll or something there too. And oh, look at those people paintings.
That's Barbie in her actually which arm is it? She's
I know.
she's in a sewing studio, so she's got a sewing machine, and then she has some hopscotch fabric on the table.
I love it.
That's actually me when I had pink hair.
I love it. And I love your faces over on the other side, the drawings of the faces. Those are so cool.
And here's some houses.
And the houses. What a fun studio.
Thanks. And then there's a little home quilt here. Let's see. Little
yes.
Mine. Yeah, this is the hopscotch wall. But I love this studio. It's huge. It has really high walls, high ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just put whatever I want on the walls. It's really quite nice. So when I'm actually at my design table, this is what I look at.
Wow, that's inspiration enough right there. Is your design studio like in the backyard of your house, or is it somewhere separate?
It's in an industrial park.
Oh,
Kind of hidden in the back, right behind the road tracks. So I see all the commercial trains and all the metro links. And it has
love them.
Double front door in the front, and in the back has a truck door. So I can get that ventilation that I'm not getting right now because my neighbors are loud.
Yeah. Well, I have people on here saying I love the bride. Somebody says I love the polka dot sofa. So
yeah. They must have been website. Yeah, the polka dot sofa is a highlight of this room.
How fun. Is it very big? Is your studio like a 20 by 20 or?
It's 1,000 square feet.
Oh, you lucky girl, you.
It's all one room, and it just has a back. When I first saw it, like my other studio before this was like 400 square feet with no walls.
Yeah.
So when I walked in here and she said, this is the only unit where it's all one big room, I said, I'll take it.
Oh my gosh, to have 1,000 square feet just for that. Oh my gosh.
I've been here for years, and it's changed. You know, it changes and evolves as depending on what I'm doing as far as art. I had a couple of big sales last year to kind of get all the fringe stuff out, and now all what I have left is the stuff that I need to do what I want to do.
So Sherry McConnell just asked, has it been easier to work in your studio since you did your purge?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got rid of some big pieces of furniture, got rid of a lot of fabric. And so I'm basically trying to like move everything to the middle of the things I use. So for the things that are on the fringe, it's still the things I need to go through and get rid of. But I've actually made a lot more space in the very front. I could put like 4 tables in the front. And then I have my sitting space, like a sitting room. When I have meetings, people can come and sit in my sitting room. And then I have a huge design table that's like 6 by 8 feet.
Wow.
It's on wheels.
That's like a dining room table.
Yeah, it's huge. And you can sit, I had it designed so you could sit all the way around the table on bar stools.
Ooh, nice.
A class, like a drawing class, we could all sit around that table.
How fun.
Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah, then I have a painting studio in the very back. I'll just open up the truck door so I don't get any fumes.
Uh-huh. Do you paint in oils or acrylics or all of them?
My main medium is probably watercolors, but I do like acrylic paint. I've never done oil, but I like acrylic paint. Dries fast.
Yes, it does. I like watercolors, but it takes forever to dry. I'm not sometimes that patient. I sit there and fan it, you know.
I'm not that patient. That's probably why I fuse all my fabrics and I don't do stuff.
Well, I love it. So I told you I would only keep you for 30 minutes. I didn't want to impose on your day, but I sure appreciate you joining us today. And I know everybody has enjoyed hearing about your design process and just getting to meet you. We always like to have a connection between our customers and the designers. And I think sometimes that's a little selfish on my part because I always like to hear the story behind a fabric. I want to know who the person is and where they get their inspiration from. And so that's where I try to make the connection because I want my customers to like it also. I want them to feel it.
Great.
To me, it's like when you taste something that really good, you're like, taste it, you've got to try it, you've got to try it. And so, yeah, that's kind of the motive behind this. So I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you.
Love your work, love your studio, and just everything about it. We can't wait to see you at market, and hopefully in the fall we will all be back together again and we can visit. But
Oh,
in the meantime, we are just going to keep meeting virtually.
that's great. I love this. That's a great,
Yes.
wonderful. It's a great way to do this.
I think so. The wonders of technology,
Yeah,
right?
definitely, definitely.
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
we have a lot of people saying thank you, and hand claps coming up. And so I want to say thank you also, and I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank.
Really fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Happy sewing.
You too.
Thanks.
Oh, was that fun? Oh my gosh, I love seeing different artists and what they've got going on and just get to meet them. And you can see that she is a dynamic lady with some great ideas and just great inspiration. And what a fun person to talk to, also, right? So thank you so much for joining us. On Friday, we are going to have a regular Facebook Live. Lori and I will be giving our weekly report if you want to join us. And then on Friday, is it the 12th, I think? 11th or 12th, something like that? Next Friday, not this Friday. Today's the 3rd. The 12th, next Friday, not this Friday, the following Friday, Robin Pickens. Oh, she designs Abbey Rose and some other fabulous lines for Moda. I know you have picked up her fabric, and if you haven't sewn with it, you're missing out. It's so beautiful. So be sure to put that on your calendar because you will get to meet her and talk to her also. This is Tisha Copeland at Not Your Mama's Quilt Store. We are in Plano, Texas, and today is Wednesday, June 3rd. And we will see you on Friday for some fun chit chat. All right, thank you. Bye bye.